There was the voice of a muffled announcer that came out over the loudspeaker.
Today standing at platform 7 is the express to Portsmouth leaving at 7:30.
There was some crackling static and then silence again. Tony looked to see where platform 7 was and started walking down it. She passed by carriages with people in. She found an empty one as she wanted to be alone, to reflect on what she had done, and more on what she was going to do. Closing the door behind her, she took the first seat and sat down, looking blankly out of the window as the train pulled out of the station. The tears started rolling down her face as she passed out of the town and past the park. She could see in the park the fountain all lit up, and it reminded her of the bright sunny day that Dave took her to the park for a picnic, the clinking of the glasses as he kissed her cheek and whispered, "I love you." "Love," she said out loud, looking round to check that no one had heard her, but she noticed there was someone sitting about 4 seats behind her. She wasn't quite able to see whether it was a man or a woman. She wiped her face with a tissue and sat back in her seat, wondering what she was going to do, and if they had heard her. She started to fall asleep with the motion of the train. Now Tony had been with Dave for 7 years, and she caught him in bed with her best friend, some friend. Without saying a word, she packed her bags and left, without saying anything, not even where she was going, but that was mainly because she didn't know. Anywhere, as long as it was away from here. She arrived at the station and bought the first ticket on the train that was leaving. "Tickets, please," woke her up with a start. It was a train guard. He had stopped where the other person was sitting, and she heard it. It was like a dream. A deep, perfect voice asked for a single ticket to Portsmouth. It was a man. His voice made her skin tingle with excitement. She had never known before. "Tickets, please," the guard asked her. She handed her over the ticket, and he said, 2 hours and we will be in Portsmouth on time." With that, he walked off, unlocking the door to the next carriage and locking it behind him again. Now, as Tony looked out of the window into the darkness outside, she could see the reflection of the carriage behind her, and she noticed a figure. She turned round, and he was standing there. He was slim, strong, dark, short hair. She looked him up and down with her eyes, and as they met, she stopped and felt like she had fallen into a deep pool of extreme comfort. "Do you mind if I sit with you?" he asked, pointing to the empty seat. Next to her, she motioned for him to sit down, not taking her eyes from him or daring to blink, just in case he disappeared.